Welcome to our podcast channel. Today, we will be discussing the topic, How Kindness Will Orient Your Life.
Wow. Okay, that title, it probably should come with a trigger warning.
Definitely sounds intense, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because we're always told, from when we're kids, kindness is everything. Be kind.
It's supposed to be the highest virtue.
But today, we're doing a deep dive into something, uncomfortable. When does that radical, unchecked generosity stop helping others and actually start destroying you?
Exactly. And that's our mission today, to really explore this counterintuitive idea. We've looked into this and found basically 8 distinct negative consequences of being too nice.
Where your giving is actually draining you, financially, emotionally.
Or even putting your safety at risk, yeah.
And crucially, we're not just going to list the problems. We want to give you a framework for, self-protection.
4 tough, actionable strategies. And we're framing this using Stoic philosophy.
Right. And when people hear Stoicism, they often think, stern, unemotional. But here it's more about balance. Is that right?
It's all about internal consistency. Really, the goal in Stoicism is living by reason and virtue.
Okay.
And that demands balance. And, maybe most importantly, self-discipline. So excessive kindness. It becomes dangerous precisely because it's undisciplined.
Okay.
You end up prioritizing external demands over your own necessary internal balance. When you overextend yourself like that, you just lose the ability to focus on your own well-being.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's dive straight into the external costs first. The first big danger of too much kindness seems to be this expectation game, the reciprocity trap.
Yeah, this is fundamental. If you give absolutely everything, you naturally, maybe unconsciously, set expectations too high for other people.
You treat people how you want to be treated.
Exactly. And so you expect that same effort, that same empathy back when, you need help.
But then the help doesn't come. Reciprocity fails. And the result is that horrible mix we all know.
Yeah.
Bad mood, exhaustion.
Anger, sadness.
It's a genuine cycle of disappointment.
And from a Stoic view, this disappointment, it's mostly self-inflicted.
How so?
Because we've violated that rule of emotional separation. We have to try and accept things as they actually are. Why are people taking advantage? Often it's because we've maybe inadvertently gotten them so used to us stepping in that they just take our effort for granted. Objectively, the person letting you down, they're often just focused on their own tasks, which, frankly, is exactly what you should be doing too.
So they're not necessarily being malicious.
Not always. They're just benefiting from your lack of boundaries.
And once you set up that pattern, being the one who always gives, well, that leads straight to consequence number 2, right?
Yeah.
People stop asking for help and just expect you to give them something.
Yeah, humans are creatures of habit. If you're constantly the one stepping in, you're actively leading others into their comfort zones.
They don't need to take responsibility.
Why would they? They know you'll be there to clean up the mess or, bear the burden.
And the really painful part of this is they won't encourage you to prioritize yourself. Not at all.
No, they become invested in you staying the giver. It works for them.
Right.
Which leads directly to another related consequence. You start attracting, let's call them transactional acquaintances.
Or as the material bluntly puts it, butts.
Yeah. People who only show up when they need something. A loan, a favor, an ear for their complaints.
We all know those types, right? Your best friend when they need something, then radio silence until the next crisis.
This is where wisdom comes in. Stoic wisdom. We need to be smart, discerning about who we give our precious resources to, our time, our energy, even money.
Because if we don't have that self-control...
We inevitably waste that valuable time and energy on opportunists. People who give nothing positive back into our lives. We need to start thinking of it only as helping and start seeing it as maybe a strategic investment in relationships. Does this relationship give back?
That's a sharp way to put it. And it makes the shift from external demands to the internal costs even clearer. If we're constantly running around fixing other people's lives, we hit consequence number 3. Your own goals get ignored.
Yeah, the goal displacement effect. They're not taken into account, not by others, and maybe not even by yourself.
And we have to ask that core question here. Why do people overgive like this?
Often, it's a kind of avoidance. It's running away from something inside that hurts or feels scary.
Like what?
Well, maybe you dread spending a weekend alone. Or maybe coming home to an empty house every day is just too much. So you fill that void with other people's problems.
Using external service as an escape hatch.
Precisely. And if you're using giving as that escape, trying to avoid facing your own solitude or your own issues, the warning is that the blow will be twice as hard when things eventually force you to stop and, face yourself.
Oh,
The Stoics really emphasize identity and self-care. Before you can be truly generous in a virtuous way, you have to be whole yourself first.
okay, how do we make that practical? How do we anchor that idea?
We have to make sure self-care comes first. There's a great analogy. You should never give someone a piece of chocolate unless you first really enjoyed one yourself.
I like that.
Or, don't rush off to clean a friend's house until your own is spotless and you've actually taken time to relax, maybe watch a movie with some wine. Your cup has to be full before you pour for others.
And that internal shortage, that emptiness we create by constantly serving others, that can lead to something even darker, right? Consequence number 7, addiction, getting hooked on something.
Yeah, when that emotional, maybe even physical shortage becomes your normal state because of chronic overgiving, it creates this void, a desperate need for external fulfillment that honestly has nothing to do with kindness anymore.
And this external fulfillment shows up how?
Well, often as self-soothing behaviors that go too far. Drinking too much, eating too much, maybe gambling too much.
Things to fill the gap.
Exactly. And what's often missed here is the denial. It's huge. When loved ones express concern, the first reaction is usually anger. I don't have a problem.
Pushback.
Total pushback. Denial is that classic wall we build when we're so deep in the problem, we just can't see it. The people who genuinely care, the ones raising the alarm, they're often the only ones seeing it clearly. You have to listen to them. They're trying to help you stop falling.
Okay, let's shift to the social realm. Because this super generous persona, if it doesn't have boundaries, it causes other problems. Consequence number 4. People mistake your kindness for weakness, and they treat you that way.
By constantly failing to set limits, you basically put a label on yourself, won't say no, so you become the default catch-all. Everyone else's unwanted tasks land on your plate. You're the go-to person when others want to avoid responsibility, like, say, challenging the boss. They know you'll take the heat.
But there's a simple fix suggested, a single word that can instantly change that perception of weakness. What's the magic word?
The magic word is no. Just no.
Feels hard, though.
Oh, it feels really negative to use it, especially if you're a people pleaser. But the moment you actually deploy that word, people start feeling something new towards you. Respect.
Really? Just like that?
It's an immediate, powerful act of, Stoic self-discipline. It signals you're committed to your own ideals, your own limits over their demands.
And if we keep giving without those boundaries, we create this cycle, which leads to consequence number 6. You only attract people who want something from you, never those who actually want to give back. Let's talk about the energy concept here for a second.
Right. Instead of getting lost in jargon, let's think about it psychologically, behaviorally. When we lose energy by constantly giving, when our, psychological batteries are totally drained, we're essentially setting a really low, depleted standard for our relationships. And that attracts and enables needy, dependent people. Opportunists, those who only seek to extract value.
So by operating at that depleted level, you actually push away people who are full of positive energy, people who want give and take.
You repel them because they're looking for mutually beneficial, positive relationships, not draining dependencies. You literally become a magnet for the negative.
Wow. So you're actively pushing away the very people who could actually enrich your life.
Precisely.
Okay, and the final consequence, number 8. This one is genuinely sad. You'll make people suspicious of you.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Because true, consistent, boundaryless kindness is so rare, your actions become confusing. A puzzle.
So instead of gratitude, you get suspicion.
Exactly. People start wondering what's their angle, what evil plans are they hiding, what's the catch here?
That's rough.
It is. They might actually choose to distance themselves from you, even refuse your help, because they assume there must be some ulterior motive you're not showing.
That feels like the ultimate kick in the teeth. Your good intention is seen as a threat. Okay, so we've laid out 8 pretty massive dangers. Now let's shift from the problem to the Stoic solution. What are the 4 tough ways we can start setting boundaries and getting back some control?
Okay, first strategy is pure self-awareness. Pay meticulous attention to how you feel. Really tune in.
How does that work?
If helping others consistently leaves you feeling just too busy, chronically tired, resentful, maybe feeling used, that is a physical and psychological signal. You must listen to it. That's your health plan talking.
Treating your internal state like a vital sign. If the reading is bad, you stop.
Exactly. And putting yourself first, when done right, should feel affirming. Like walking on clouds after making a tough but necessary decision. It shouldn't feel like just another burden.
Okay. Strategy 2, we've touched on it, but it's worth repeating. Don't be afraid of the word no.
It is absolutely the most necessary tool for self-control, for regaining your freedom from unreasonable requests. If we let pessimism take over our lives by always bending to what others want, we lose our self-respect.
So how do you get better at it?
The advice is literally practice saying no in the mirror. Get comfortable with the sound of it, the feeling of asserting yourself. It takes practice.
Okay. Strategy number 3 sounds really concrete. You must define and respect a scheduled time and place just for yourself.
Yes, and this can't just be wishful thinking, oh, I'll take some time later. No, it has to be scheduled time daily, weekly, whatever works, set aside purely for self-care.
Like what?
Could be anything. Exercise, drawing, reading, just enjoying a cup of tea in silence. But the key is, it must be treated as an inviolable commitment, like a crucial doctor's appointment.
So if someone asks for help during that specific time,
You must refuse, without remorse.
right?
You can offer to help later, maybe for a short time, but you make it absolutely clear that your scheduled time is non-negotiable, period.
That definitely reclaims self-respect right there. Okay, and finally, strategy number 4. Identify the energy vampires and distance yourself.
These people are usually easy to spot. They overwhelm you with constant complaints. They have this catastrophic view of life. Everything is a disaster.
Right.
But here's the critical insight. They don't actually want their problems solved.
Wait, what? Why not?
Because if their problems were solved, they'd have to stop complaining. And often their whole identity is wrapped up in being the victim and having these problems. They won't tolerate solutions.
So trying to help them is pointless.
It's worse than pointless. It's a guarantee that your energy will be completely wasted and they will only drain you further. You must create distance. Protect your energy.
Okay, bringing this all back to the Stoic idea.
Yeah.
The ultimate lesson here isn't stop being generous. It's more nuanced.
Absolutely. It's ensuring your generosity operates with discipline and reason. Moderation is the goal. Generosity needs to live in the grays. Finding that careful balance between prioritizing the legitimate needs of others and the non-negotiable needs of yourself.
And if you're ever unsure,
Just remember that single magic word.
no. That's a really profound call to action for everyone listening. So to leave you with something to think about, consider one area, maybe in your work life, maybe personal life, where your kindness is currently being mistaken for weakness. Just one area. Now, how would applying strategy #3, scheduling that inviolable self-respect time, how would that immediately alter how people perceive you in that situation? Really think about making that commitment.
That's all for today's topic. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay updated with the latest news.